This is Case Break Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. Watch this video if you want to save money on breaks or learn about a product, whether or not you should buy it, whether you should wait, buy into a break, buy it as a hobby box, whatever. I'm going to break this product down and give you the in-depth analysis of what exactly Bowman Inception, 2022 Bowman Inception has in it. How valuable is it? What is the product quality, the checklist quality, autographs, all of that stuff. So stay here and just stay with me while I give you some tips to save money. So 2022 Bowman Inception. What is this product? Inception's been around for, I don't know, I think since 2013. That was one piece of research I didn't do. However, it is always well designed, yet I think that Inception as a product has somewhat of a conflicting identity. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. Does it want to be Bowman prospect product? Does it want to be Topps, a major league product with rookies? But the design is always pretty top notch. If you are a collector who likes to display their sets, their cards, cards that you enjoy, this is the set that you should collect because the cards are very nice looking. However, I personally feel like it's a better product with Topps. I'll get into all of that on the review side, but this product doesn't really have a lot of stay power. It doesn't have a lot of iconic memory, I guess you could say. So when we look at cards and we think, 10 years down the line, what cards are very popular from 2013? The Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome card, that's very popular. That's a very sought after card. But do we think about Inception cards being very popular? Maybe if you own one or two, but they're not even on. I actually Googled the list of the top Aaron Judge cards to collect, and Bowman Inception was nowhere on it. I've had Bowman. I've spent money on Bowman Inception in the past, always to disappointment. I get really nice looking cards. I get cards that have relics in them, autographs, sometimes. Even this year, there's the dual relic, which is even cooler. I'm not sure if that's including their minor league jersey or just some, show floor worn jersey. I don't even know if it's player worn. But these are all basically minor league players in major league uniforms. So that's kind of that. Read the screen if you want more information. But what do you get in this product? You're going to get 7 cards and 16 boxes. Okay. So you're going to get that many as a 100-card base set. But per box, you're going to get 2 autos. You're going to get 1 foil parallel and 4 base cards. So, here's what it equates to in the case. And as I scroll through this, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, really what the purpose of this is so that you could save money when you either buy the product or buy into breaks, especially team breaks, where I break it down by team. What you probably want to do along the way, take screenshots. Take screenshots of things so that you can have a nice... oh man, it's got all messed up. So you can have a nice record of what you want to do. So usually this just says aesthetics and then kind of has this thing I paste from Beckett. And what Beckett says about this, it's minor leaguers that are in MLB jerseys. It's a 100-card base set, and there's all these inserts and parallels and stuff. But the unique thing since 2021 was the stamp. This stamp that kind of illustrates that's their first Inception card. That's similar to the first Bowman card. Now the first Bowman card, that's got a lot of significant value to it. However, the first Inception, I'm still kind of waiting to see how people respond to that. I don't think it's going to carry the weight that they think it will. So here's all the parallels and their print runs. Here's what the cards look like, and here's kind of that little foil stamp that they have. I like this design. I know in past years they've had kind of like this supernova starry kind of feel to them, and this year they have it's more like a camera lens feel, one of those really long camera lenses that's like if you're just staring down the inside of that camera lens. And then here's the design with the autographs. I'm pretty certain that the majority of these, if not all of them, should be on card. If there's stickers, that's super unfortunate because even though this product isn't extremely expensive, I mean, we're not talking, Topps Dynasty that I talked about the other day, that's 5 cards per case, and it's like $7,000. This is about $2,500, but you're getting a little bit more out of it. Not sure that I would buy a case of this by myself, but in a break, sure. And that's really where these prices are for anyway. So here's kind of that starry, stardust feel that Inception always seems to have for one of their autos here. And this is kind of the primordial, primordial ooze. Isn't that what they call the universe before the Big Bang? And so that's, I guess, what this is supposed to be, even though if it was the primordial ooze before the Big Bang, there wouldn't be any stars and stuff in there. I don't know, maybe there would. I'm not a physicist. And then here's the dual relic, which again, like it's got these pinstripes, which implies that this is a White Sox uniform for this particular player. And the White Sox, they play in white and black pinstripes. But if this player's in the minor leagues, then it's probably not game worn. It could be player worn, but who knows? I couldn't find the backs to tell you. So this product costs about $2,500, $2,550 around there, and that's Steel City prices. Again, I use those prices because what it does is it allows me to kind of overshoot what a team should cost. And that way, if breakers are raising or lowering the prices, then you look at it and say, okay, this is worth it. Now, I will say that I've been checking to make sure to verify that some of my work is actually matching up, and it seems to be doing really, really well. If you take some of these like autograph parallel insert and you break it up and you kind of take the minimum and maximum of all those prices that I'm giving you, and you're somewhere in between, you're typically going to do pretty well. So if this is your first time watching this, and if it's not, I'm sorry for boring you with this explanation again, but I'm going to give you the explanation of what this table is showing. When you look at who has the most cards in a set, when you go to Break Ninja or these group break checklist websites, what you're getting is how many unique cards are in that set. There are some companies, some sites like Break Ninja, they do tell you how many total cards per team there are, and that is the number that you should be using to make your decision. Now, there's also how much value is in per team. You could buy the team with the most chance to hit an autograph, but if all those autographs are of players that aren't very valuable, then you're wasting your money. So I'm going to go down 2 tables here and show you one just based on the kind of distribution of cards, autographs, inserts per team, foils, and then I'm going to do the same thing for how much value each team actually has based on some metrics that I analyze. Now, if we look at this table, the number of unique cards per team, here's the most. Okay, the White Sox have the most unique cards per team. Who has the most total cards? It's the same team, but you'll notice I think the order is actually different here. Maybe not. In many cases, especially in the bigger sets like Top Series 1, Don Russ, things like that, if you explode the print runs out, the one team might have just a ton of 1-of-1s. So they could have 70 1-of-1s, and they'll have 70 unique cards, and you'll buy that team because they have the most cards. But then you have teams that have, 10s and 25s, 50s, 100s, and there you go. Now you have way more chance to get a card of that team, even though maybe they only have 50 unique cards. That's what I'm trying to say here. So if we break this table down by who has the most cards total, not unique, it's the White Sox. And if you want to pay for the team based on how they distribute, how the distribution of cards matches against other teams, I kind of break this out and I just say, here's the case cost, and if we just divide that by all of the teams based on the distribution of cards per team, here's like an even thing. Now this doesn't include, breakers are going to price in some of the best players. I've seen some teams that were way overpriced for the analysis I did. I've seen teams that were the team actually had the least amount of cards in the set, and they were priced the highest. That's kind of crazy because they're not doing the analysis. But there's that off chance that you're going to hit the star. But if we're using Vegas odds and we're using our intelligence, you don't bet on one thing. You don't bet on one guy. You're not going to get that card. If you buy the team over and over and over, you'll probably get it. But if you buy it once, the chances are so low that you're going to get it because there's all these other cards, all these other teams. So, don't buy the Mariners because you want Julio Rodriguez. Buy the Mariners because you think or that they have the most cards. Do they? Well, he's not in this product, but so this is all prospects, all prospects. And so here's the top number of autographs. Here they are, and what I think you should pay a fair price per team in a break. And here's the least amount. The Braves and the Blue Jays have the least amount of total cards. So they have 8 unique cards and only under 500 total cards in all the cases that they're going to produce, which is like well over 2,000 cases. There's only 500 cards that you'll find of the Braves. Okay, and so if you buy the Braves, don't pay more than $15, please. Don't screw yourself out of some money there. So let's do the same thing for the foil cards. The foil cards are kind of like parallels, and so you might want to chase those. You might want to build a rainbow of some sort. So if we do that by let's first look at unique number. We got the Rays, Dodgers, Reds. Let's see if that's the same. Yeah, it's the same for the total number. So I think that's because the print runs are so similar. So that's basically going to be the same. But again, like I said, in Top Series 1 or some of these bigger products, even Prism or Chrome, these print runs can change. And some teams that look like they have the most cards might not. So if you're chasing the rainbow, here's what you could pay for the Rays, who have the most total cards in the foil sets. The Dodgers, it's kind of because they're the same. That's going to be the same price. So that's what you can pay. And so that's that. That's the distribution there. I know I've explained a lot, but I'm going to go into that same exact kind of concept, but I'm going to do it for player checklist strength. And how I calculate the strength is I look online, I scrape some websites for the total popularity of searches of each player on their own. And that is in the category of baseball, or I do all sports, so in sports cards and memorabilia. And what that allows me to do is see how many people are searching the internet for sports cards and memorabilia of these players. And then I compare them to each other. I have this system, this metric that I've already developed, and I have it pretty standard to where each group of search popularity, if you reach a certain threshold, you are ranked between 1 and 5. If you get a 5, that means you're like Mike Trout, Babe Ruth, those types of search histories, those types of performance metrics as well. If I bring in statistics, that means that player is probably going to be able to sell immediately and for a profit. 4, given a 4 is like you'll sell it maybe in a week or 2, or it'll sit for a while, but you'll sell it for a profit as well. 3 means it might sit, it might not, but you're probably not going to make a profit. 2, I don't know about the time that it's going to take, but if you sell a 2, it's probably going to be for what is considered a loss, just because there's like the standard value of a card. $8 for your Allen and Ginter relic. So if you have an Allen and Ginter relic that is a player that is in the 2 category, well, then you'll probably sell it for less than 8. If you have it in the 4, you'll probably sell it for more than 8. You kind of get the point there. And 1, players that fall in the 1, you probably aren't going to sell that card at all. So out of this set, I've done a bunch of calculations based on the checklist, and there are 2,707 unique cards, and about 40 of those will fall into, and this is by unique player, basically. There's not that many unique players. There's only 146, but of the unique cards, so that's parallels, autographs, memorabilia, all that stuff. 40% of all the cards in this set will fall between a 4 and a 5. That's decent. That's actually pretty decent. I think they did a good job with this checklist, although there is one big problem. It's 2022. It's a 2022 prospect checklist, which means that all of the prospects, like Jackson Holliday and Drew Jones, for 2023, they are not going to be in this product. So you actually only have 33 out of the top 100 and 59 out of the top 400. So that means that many subjects out of 146, so was that 80 something prospects fall outside of the top 400 for the current rankings of prospects, and that includes rookies. So I don't know, that doesn't seem very good, but when you actually incorporate the search popularity of these minor league players, I was very actually surprised. This checklist comes in at a product strength of 3.9, which is, I think, the second highest I've had. The first highest was a Formula One premium. It was Dynasty. It was a premium set where really every driver should be a 5 in that set because of how much it cost. This is 3.9 is really, really good for this. especially considering these are prospects and they don't have a lot of history on being online and people searching, but people are searching for their sports cards and memorabilia. So there's a lot of good there, and so if you were to pay specifically by the amount of value each team has in this set, the Red Sox have far and away the best value in this set. They have players that are consistently being searched for, and their memorabilia and sports cards are consistently being at least looked at, maybe purchased even. So what I'm saying there is, when you look at the speed that you might be able to sell some of this stuff, or even the price, there's more magnitude given to the Reds because of how popular they are with these specific names in the checklist. So if you paid about 180 for that, you'd probably be doing okay. And if you're looking for the foils, go for the Rays. Maybe pay about 155. That's only what I'm saying there is you're only going for the foils. So don't think that that's like conflating the autos and the foils. It's if you're specifically paying for a team because of the foils. Like if that's your thing to collect foils and parallels, pay that, because why wouldn't that be fair? That's a fair price because that's what's making your collection. It's bringing your collection to the point where you want it to be, which you have a lot of foils and parallels. But if you're paying for autographs, here they are. And who has the least? The Blue Jays, the Braves, the Mets. So I wouldn't pay very much for those teams. And you can see here, take screenshots, understand, what these teams, we'll even go to page 2 so you can see the middle teams. Understand which teams have the most and the least. Don't get distracted because Jason Dominguez is in this product. Jason Dominguez might not have that many cards. And in fact, a lot of his popularity has gone down a lot. He falls in the 4 category right now just based on the metrics. He's just not you might hold that card for a while, but you'll make a profit, and that's kind of a good example of how this system works. So there's that. Take your screenshots and kind of get an idea of what you want to pay. Now, if you want to know why I rated this at 3.9, it's leaning this chart. Actually, if you look at the x-axis, it doesn't have a 1. That's because there are no 1s in this product. Everybody in the checklist, specifically for autographs, is over a 1. So they did a good job of curating this set into just players that are being sought after and players that have, I don't know about statistics because I like to use the all-encompassing statistics like WAR to evaluate players against other players, and minor leaguers don't have a WAR. So largely these players are single A, double A. Some of them, as of 2022, didn't really have that many statistics. But as far as search patterns and popularity, this is a good set. This is really good. It skews, it's kind of normal, sits in the middle, but it skews towards the higher end of the spectrum there. So the master checklist, let's just talk about that real quick and just kind of run down what does this set have in it prior to any simulations or anything like that. I calculated some things based on what they said. There's going to be a certain amount of foil cards that have serial numbers in each box. Well, I can extrapolate that out and determine that there's probably going to be 41,300 total hobby boxes, which equates to 2581 and a quarter of a case. There's probably some left over there. And so that kind of then breaks down to all these. There's going to be 1,600 base sets. So if you're collecting the base set, there's 1,600 of each card probably. There's going to be 82,000 total autographs, with 43,000 of them being serial numbered. So if we remove the serial number ones, because I already know the print run of those, it's out of 99, it's out of 10, I can actually remove that and figure it out. For all of the non-serial numbered autos, there's going to be 39,393 of those. If we just split that evenly across all of the non-numbered autographs, that's 190 per autograph. So for each card, there's the kind of Bowman Inception base prospect auto. There's 100. I should say there's 190 of those. For the one that's like the primordial ooze, that's going to be 190 for the non-numbered one. And so we can kind of break that down by set. There's not a lot of sets in this product, unlike a Top Series one where there's tons and tons and tons. But we could still look at this and say, all right, if we go and look at the lowest number of cards in a set, what is the most rare card in the set? Now that's going to be the foil factors Inception Auto Dual Relic. Those foil factors, I think there's several of them. They're one of ones, and so in the foil factors Dual Relic, there's 11 unique players with that card as a 1 of 1. And so that's the rarest card in this entire set. So if you get that, you've gotten the rarest card in the set. You know, count your lucky stars. Hopefully you got a good player. And then I'll kind of scroll through this a little slowly so you can see what are the more rare. Anytime it's a full factor, it's rare. But I like to go over this because I like to say, look at this. That's a print run of 5. Okay, and there's 55 of them total. There's actually these black printing plates. There's 100 of them, which means, I know people hate this on Facebook. People just don't understand it. It is harder. It is more rare to get this card out of 5 than it is to get a 1 of 1 black printing plate. Now that doesn't mean that if you're going to get the one player, a Jason Dominguez out of 5 is obviously not as rare as getting the Jason Dominguez black printing plate. But that's not what I'm saying. In this case, because you're in a break and you're going for it's a raffle and it's gambling in a way, you're going for the most likely success. Okay, it doesn't matter about one player. So if you get a red foil Inception auto dual relic, you've just gotten one of the more rare cards, more rare than any of the printing plates. Keep that in mind as you make these purchases. It's not all about print runs. Sometimes the rarity is much better than a 1 of 1. And then, so if we do want to look at 1 of 1s and you want that 1 of 1, which is most people do. I get that I'm telling you that you're getting cards that aren't more rare, but people still chase them. And so the Reds and the White Sox have 42 1 of 1s. That's a ton of 1 of 1s. It's always crazy how many 1 of 1s there are in these products. And I'll just show you, well, we'll look at the team with the least, and then I'll show you next how many 1 of 1s there are. I think that's the next table. And so the least is the Braves. So stay away from the Braves if you want to not get a hit, just buy the Braves. So there you go. There's that. I'll go slow so you can take screenshots of that. And then, so each card within a print run, there's 699 1 of 1s in this product. I hope you guys realize just how many 1 of 1s that is. That's a ton. And then for the 5s, there's 363 of them. And that equates to that. And then you can kind of go down this list and see, based on print runs, a 10. Getting a 10 is harder than getting either a 5 or a 1. Like, think about how crazy that is. That's nuts. At least it is in mine. So the 10s, just so you know, the 10s in this product are short prints. They're short prints, and they're very difficult to get. They are probably the most rare thing in here, other than that 1 of 1, which only had 11. So here's the cards with each team. I'll just show you. This is probably what you're looking at when you go to the break checklist websites. You're looking at the number of unique cards, which in this case is the White Sox. And then here's the list going down in order. And here's the number of unique cards by total number, or not unique, the total number of cards. It's probably the same. But I'm going to show you that when you randomize the simulation, cases sometimes wind up with multiple of top teams or none of the top teams. And that winds up making it interesting, and that's why I do the simulation. I do the simulation so you can see, like, when it's really random, when they're pulling cards from the warehouse and putting them in the cases, are you truly going to get cards that match the distribution of the cards that are in this breakdown? Almost certainly you will not. So if we look at, I really don't know a lot of players in this set. So I'm going to show you one case. It's the 20th case of the 20 case breaks that I simulate. I kind of just like to see, maybe what's the lowest print run that I got. It was 25. That's not very good. I didn't get any 1 of 1s. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to buy into a break, and because there's 699 1 of 1s, I'll surely get one. Now, in this case break that I'm simulating, I did not get a 1 of 1. And so this randomly pulls. It did not tell me what the distribution of foils were going to be, but I know I get 1 per box. And the print runs kind of give you that probability. So there they are. And then I just look at this and usually just show kind of what I got. And so I got some autographs with foil. I got some regular foil stuff. And there you have it. I don't think that I really need to go over this too much unless you guys are really interested in these prospects. Anybody really, really good? Maybe Acuna. I don't know. Okay, so in that one case, the total number of cards by team. So when we simulate, so even though the White Sox have the most cards, the Reds are the team I got the most of. Then the Twins, Yankees, Dodgers, then the White Sox. So that kind of shows you, when you really truly randomize this, what's happening here. How are these cases populated with cards? And there you go. Now, who did I get the least of? Because you probably want to know that too. Rockies, Cardinals, Nationals, Guardians. And then what about by parallel? Blue foils, fuchsia foils, gold. I got a lot of foils, it seems. Did I screw this up? Yeah, I screwed this up. Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry about that. This is base right here. For some reason, it doesn't have any words in it. That's base. So I got 74 base. That makes sense. Ooh, I thought that was going to be weird. This because I did this by parallel, so it got kind of messed up. And now, if we do it for all 20 cases that I simulated, the Reds, the White Sox, the Rays, that was the most, and the least, Braves, Angels, Mets. So if you're looking at these cases and you're thinking, the White Sox have the most cards, therefore I'm going to get the most in my actual case breaks. In my simulation, no, the Reds seem to be the team that comes out on top. In a 20 case break aggregation, I mean that's 20 cases. That's a pretty good sample size for how these teams might break down. So I would probably buy the Reds if you're looking for just like quantity over quality. I'd go for the Reds, and then you get the Rays, the Dodgers. The Dodgers seem to have a lot of good prospects. The Brewers have, who's been at the bottom of the league lately? They're probably going to have a lot of the best prospects. And the White Sox have a good farm system too, so you can't go wrong buying them. There's a reason why they're in this product, because they have a good farm system. And I did get, in 20 cases, I got a bunch of one-on-ones. Here they are: Dodgers, Giants, Padres, Yankees, Twins, Cubs, and there you go. And this print run of 1652, that's the base. That's what I'm assuming the base print run's going to be. So there's that. And number of cards by each card type. If you're looking for autographs and you want to use my 20 case break simulation to purchase your team in a case break, here you go: Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, White Sox. Take your screenshot. If you're looking for base, I mean, don't look for base. We're not even going to worry about that. But the least amount is the Braves, the Jays, and the Angels. So there you go. Take a screenshot there. Make sure that if you're searching for autographs, that you don't buy these lower teams. You do buy these higher teams, and then you get all that stuff. So my overall recommendation for this product: who am I? I'm a guy who does analysis. If you want to listen to me, fine. If you don't, I don't care. Bowman, I think Inception is a product for the pro major leaguers. It is more eye-catching. It's more collectible when the players are major leaguers. Having prospects makes sense because you can do prospecting and you can kind of buy these cards and sit on them for a while. But I don't think Inception, the design of Inception and the quality of Deception. Have I said Deception? Inception is too good of a product. It's too well designed to be a prospect product. I think stick it with the major leaguers. And, we always see posted like Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, some really good Inception cards with awesome autographs, silver ink and stuff. I say go back to that. Don't do this Bowman one anymore. It's dumb. And if you like the design, fine, buy it. But if you're kind of saving money for prospect cards, don't buy this. Wait for Bowman Chrome. That's going to be the prospect product for baseball, and just kind of pass this one up or buy individual cards. Like what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy the Chicago Cubs players. Christopher Morel has a card in this set. I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to waste my money on hobby boxes, because every time I buy Bowman Inception hobby boxes, I basically get players who never make it past AA. And then I'm just going to plead with Topps to return this to the major leagues only and get rid of the prospect version. I say this product is a maybe on the buy side. I think if you're a prospector, just do Bowman Chrome. If you're a breaker and you just buy into all these breaks because you have tons of money, sure, it's a collectible set, and you'll be able to sell things quickly before players make it to the major leagues. But if you sit on these cards for more than 6 months to a year, there's a good chance that you're not going to sell those cards ever. So this product's in the maybe category. I actually had it in the don't buy category, but I feel like that's maybe a little too extreme because it is such a nice product. But that's it. That's Case Breaks Analysis. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys hit mega awesome autographs and parallels and awesome stuff. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful break.